Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects in the life. Thanks for joining me today as we uncover the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all. We must discover what is really happening, what is really going on here, to change these things that we know and hold dear to us. And let us help others discover the meaning of the Mandela effect and how it affects them and the price of milk. Thank you. And be sure to hit the like and subscribe down below. Hey guys, what is up? Hey, I hope you're all having a wonderful Mandela effect night. Hope everything's doing okay for you. We have Ty with us and Teresa, my residue hunter, and
the queen of residue.
Yeah, this is another one of those. This is another one of those crazy situations, or quantum reality shifts, whatever you want to call it. Mandela effect. I know we've been trying to rename it. Here's the thing, Ty. You want to go ahead and explain what's going on with this movie Blues Brothers? The woman who played. I guess go ahead and explain it a little bit more.
The woman who played Twiggy, or the woman who is named her actual name. She's affectionately known just as Twiggy, you understand. I think the credit in the Blues Brothers film was given as Twiggy, okay? But her name is actually Twiggy Lawson, okay? And she played a bit part, a small role in the Blues Brothers. She was a fashion person. She did movies, just a couple movies, and I remember distinctively that she died. And now I get information today that she's alive.
Yeah, it's showing here that she was born Leslie Hornby, I guess Hornby. Yeah.
Yes.
Leslie Hornby, Leslie Lawson, born 19 September 1949. Widely known as by her nickname Twiggy.
I'm trying to find some residue, guys.
So what movies you said she was in? You said
she's in most. I know her from the Blues Brothers, but of course, she was a fashion model for years. She was a fashion model for years. Starting in from her page, it says she was a fashion model from 1966 to 1970. Okay, she was very, very famous enough to start doing movies. How about that? Okay, she did her first movie in 1971 entitled The Boyfriend. The second movie I see here is W in 1974. In 1979, she did There Goes the Bride. And in 1980, she was in The Blues Brothers. Now, she also did a couple other movies, of course, in 81, 85, but nothing that I've heard of. I mean, except The Little Match Girl in 1986. I heard of that one. But the idea here is I'm surprised that she is alive, because I am absolutely positively sure that she died.
Okay, and what year would you estimate she died, you think?
Between 1980 and 1990.
Okay.
This is not something that she just recently died. She died years ago, which is really has me in awe. She died years ago. What do you think, Teresa?
I remember her. I remember when she died years ago. I remember that. Yeah, it was many years ago.
Okay, and you remember what was the last movie?
Remember Natalie Wood? With Robert Wagner, when Natalie Wood's rounds. Remember that big?
Yeah, I remember that too.
That is about the time that Twiggy died. About that time. This is what I'm remembering. Way back then. Okay. The point is that Twiggy being alive to me is like Natalie Wood not drowning. That's the way it is to me, if that makes any sense to you. If someone told me Natalie Wood was alive, I'd be like, she's drowned. You see? And Twiggy, I just don't know how she died. Obviously, it's before the internet.
It says right here, you know how there's this website you can check to see if a celebrity is alive or dead. You can go to, it's called deadoraliveinfo.com. And I'm looking at Twiggy, and we got a smiley face, alive in the field of fashion. Wavefish model back in the 1960s. She's currently 67. That's crazy. And you found out that she died back.
I know that she died, and now I found out that she's still alive.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and even so, even the movies that I see her in, I don't have any recollection of any of these movies. I don't, and I'm not a big movie buff, but I would know something that she was in. You know, come on, that's crazy.
What was her last name? Twiggy's last name?
I think it was Twiggy. Was it Lawson? Lawson?
What was it?
Twiggy Lawson?
Lawson?
Yes.
Okay, I was trying to see if I could find
See
something.
if you could find me some residue about her dying. She has some. And notice it says here she has some age-defying looks. And this is back in like 2015. Let's see what she looks like. She was blonde, 5'7". I mean, she is not. It not was, but you know.
Right.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it gets confusing when you do it the Mandela effect.
There's no way, yo. There is no way. At 65, she looks like that. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
That is Twiggy. That's the reason why Twiggy was such a popular character, because that is Twiggy.
Okay.
There's no way that she looks like that.
Yeah, there's just no way. Okay, so we're looking at now and then.
She could have been, Brian, she could have been a Bond girl. That's who she is. She could have been a Bond girl, if that makes sense to you.
Well, yeah, see if you can find me some residue, Teresa. I'll clip it to the video. So she was famous. Did any of the scenes from Blues Brothers that you know of, Ty, change? Did any of those scenes change with her in it? Because a lot of times these actresses and actors, when their names change or they're dead and they come back to life, a lot of times we see changes in the scenes of their movies. Did anything change that you know of?
Nothing that I know of, but she was only in a couple scenes in the whole movie, but not that I know of. But it's a very famous scene, very famous.
The very famous scene.
Because of what it is you have with the Blues Brothers, and you remember there's an interchange of playing during the whole movie because Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi are playing quote unquote the Blues Brothers, which are characters that they made on Saturday Night Live. Okay. Now, from Saturday Night Live, they brought those characters to the big screen for the Blues Brothers, and they became the Blues Brothers, and they have a dialogue. They have an interplay between Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. That interplay continued on throughout the movie, and it happened between John Belushi and Twiggy back and forth, and that dialogue that I know of did not change. If that makes sense.
What's your name? Leslie Lawson?
I'm sorry.
Real name?
Leslie.
Leslie Lawson?
I believe so. Let me look.
1949.
Yes.
Yes, Leslie Lawson with Lesley.
She was born in 1949.
Correct.
Wow, man. That would make her what? 60-some years, 65? No, actually. No, because it's in 65 in 2014.
Yes, so
she's like 68 years old.
She'll be 68 coming up.
There's no way she's 68.
Hold on. It says here, photo set, dead in suicide, Leslie Lawson, Twiggy, my Nana's second cousin, no blood related. Huh? What is this?
Wow. Shows pictures of her. Wow.
But my memory is that Twiggy died before the internet.
Oh, maybe that's why I can't find anything.
Before the internet. I believe she died before the internet. Because the internet came out, what? You know, it became very big, what, 95, 94?
That might have been Mandela, too, when it came out. Because that changes, too, right, Brian?
Yeah.
So, because, you know how that works. But it's just, that to me is just one of the things that makes you... I remember, I agree with you. I remember when she died, too. Yeah, right. And it bothers me. I mean, there's a number of actors, as you know, like Ed Asner, that died a long time ago, which is known as Lou Grant. Lou Grant's dead. Along with Ted Baxter, he's dead as well. Lou Grant is dead.
Hey, check this out. Look at this. Look at this.
Hello?
Yo, Ty. Fancy Wolf on Twitter on the 29th of January 2016. I thought Twiggy Lawson was dead with a question mark.
Oh, you found some residue?
Yeah, and look,
You're
Mr.
right.
Wait, hold on, Mr. Byjoy, or Bijoy, 19 September 2013. Twiggy Lawson turned 64 today. Honestly, I thought she was dead.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
And look, 2 years ago. Actually, no. 2011. 2 years before that date, Twiggy Lawson turned 62 today. I actually thought she was dead.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
So this is.
So that's before the 2012 date that people are using for the Mandela effect as well.
Yeah, you know how like every day like people there's mentions of people's births and deaths, like famous people. That's
Right.
why I try to
Well,
keep
that's
tabs.
also
I try to keep
collectively
tabs.
We know the famous people.
Huh?
That's why.
What?
We know the famous people, so we connect with that right away because that's a marker for us because they're famous. Just like logos and just like brands, just like Jiffy peanut butter, same thing. You see, because that's a famous thing. But I don't share Jiffy peanut butter with you. I don't have any recollection of Jiffy peanut butter. I only remember Jif.
Right.
You don't remember Jiffy?
Yeah, we talked about that actually on the
You know
episode.
which residue I found on Jiffy?
There's tons.
Yeah,
There's tons.
There's tons on Jiffy, right? There's tons.
Okay.
That's a big
Okay.
Mandela. Okay, settle down, Teresa. No, I'm kidding. I could do probably 50 videos on just Jiffy.
I found more today
Seriously.
too. Remember, I gave it to you.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm asking our viewers out there if you recollect with what if you can connect with what Ty is talking about here, about this Blues Brothers movie. The actress who played her name is Twiggy or Leslie Lawson. If you remember her dying back in like the late '80s, mid to late '80s, I guess. Is that right, Ty?
That is right.
Okay, if you remember her dying, go ahead and thumb up that video. If you've always known her alive, I mean, just go ahead and thumb it up anyway. Give Ty some credit here. He did a lot of research. Yeah, go ahead, Teresa. What, did you find anything on her being dead besides what I found?
No, she was a supermodel, a stick-thin, still-eyed supermodel of the 90s.
I'm checking
A
Facebook
little
too.
description, yeah.
I'm checking
I think
Facebook.
her older viewers were.
Yes, because she was a sex symbol.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in '63, but I remember her.
Right.
I'm checking here. Hold on.
It's going to be hard to find residue on this, but you found a little bit already. It says in 1988 she married a British actor, director Leigh Lawson, who starred with this big article on me, which appeared in the Daily Express.
Well,
Yeah, she married a British actor.
That does ring true because I remember in the movie the credits being given to just Twiggy, like the same thing as Madonna, doesn't use a last name, or Cher doesn't use a last name. At the time, Twiggy did not use a last name. It was just Twiggy.
Just Twiggy, yep.
Yeah,
and all the girls wanted to be dressing like her.
Right.
This one, okay, it says here, here's some other information from Bonnie Fortney. Today is Twiggy's 65th birthday, and this was in 2014, September 19th. Born as Leslie Hornby on September 19, 1949, in Neasden, London. That's Neasden. Married twice, widowed once. First husband was to Michael Whitney. That's spelled W-I-T-N-E-Y. He died in 1983 after 6 years of marriage due to a heart attack. They have one daughter, Carly, C-A-R-L-Y, her only child. Second husband is to Lee, that's L-E-I-G-H Lawson. They've been married now 26 years. It's interesting.
But she wanted to be like Marilyn Monroe too.
Yeah, I don't know. I cannot remember how she died, but I know that she died. Which is, you know, I know it's nerve-wracking. She's a tiny girl.
Part of me is remembering anorexia. I don't know why, but that keeps coming up in my mind about that. I don't know why.
I don't know, but that's...
I'm trying to find
Here's
it, guys.
something you guys want to know. It says Twiggy weighed 91 pounds at the start of her modeling career.
Holy moly.
91 pounds.
No, maybe that's why she earned the name Twiggy, because that would explain it. She's 5'7",
Wow.
blonde, and apparently 91 pounds at the start of her career.
Very
That's
thin,
crazy.
yeah. Wow.
I mean, do you remember Vicky Vale in Batman? I remember her saying, or Batman, he asked her, how much do you weigh? And she said 108. And even that's pretty lightweight for somebody about that height.
Listen to this, what she told the AP, you know, the Associated Press. I want a fairy godmother to make me look like Marilyn Monroe. I have no boobs, no hips.
I want to know if anyone else can remember Twiggy Lawson. See if you guys remember her dying at all. This...
Yeah, I do. I wonder if any of the audience might remember, you know?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that because it's very hard to find, but you have a strong recollection with that tie. I'm not going to knock you down for you know, for your memory, you know what I mean?
I appreciate it. Like I said, that's what I remember. I remember Twiggy dying. But,
in the late 80s, yeah.
You know how it works is that, like Jiffy, you remember Jiffy and I don't. It's just one of those things. And if someone disagrees with me on a memory, I pretty much leave it alone because, you know, their opinion's just as valid as anyone else's.
I know. Hey,
now,
Ty.
let me ask you this, Brian.
Yeah.
You had something. You said that you were going to have a hangout. This was a few days ago when I couldn't touch base with you.
Wait a minute.
You said you were going to do something on the first 5 presidents.
On the what?
The first 5 presidents.
Yes. My dad and I covered that. If you want to help us out with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you could help us out if you want.
Well, what I wanted to ask you was, what was the discrepancy with the first 5 presidents? How did that work out?
Well, what was really interesting was that 2 or 3 of those presidents actually died on the same day, July 4th.
Yes.
That was interesting.
Thomas
Jefferson, and there was another one. I believe it was either Madison or Monroe.
I believe it was Monroe, because I think Monroe, is it Monroe that said at least Jefferson is still alive, and Thomas Jefferson died the same day? At least Jefferson still lives, or something like that, he said. Then again, don't quote me. You know, that is what it is. Don't quote me as you're recording this, but you understand.
I understand how that works. You know, me and Teresa have a connection because my grandmother died the same. What is it? September 3rd. And who else? Who died in your family? Yeah, who died September 3rd in your family?
This don't make no sense.
Yeah, we have a connection there too. There's a lot of connections that happen, and we're just not sure what's going on. But it's definitely interesting, and it leaves us questioning things, you know, at times.
Of course.
It's like
my grandmother who died. I was adopted.
You know, huh?
She was my grandmother.
Oh wow. No,
yeah, I was adopted.
I know who.
She was my mom, but she was technically my father's mother, so she was my grandmother.
Yeah, I'm saying who did you say that died September 3rd? Was it your dad, your mom?
My father's mother, the one who adopted me.
Wait a second. Your father's mother died September 3rd.
Yes.
That's my father's mother who died September 3rd also.
1991.
2016. Yeah.
Wow. What was the odds of that? That's kind of bizarre.
I know. And don't you have the 23 somewhere along your birth or something? I know I do.
7/12.
Number 23 comes up.
63.
7.
You guys
oh, okay.
are into, I'm sure that you guys, the way that you guys talking, it sounds that you guys got into synchronicity. You delved into.
We've been doing that a lot lately. We've been doing that a lot.
Yeah, I think it's called vibing. I think it's called vibing. When you vibe with somebody really well, you resonate, I guess. And there's a lot of things that, a lot of incidences that happen that you can really relate to with somebody. So yeah, I think we're vibing really well.
I think that synchronicity, vibing is you like the same song. It doesn't mean that you vibe up together.
Yeah. Lindbergh.
Yeah, so vibing has to do with what choice. Synchronicities is just something that happens like unnaturally or
Right, I think I just synchronized again. I just saw this thing. I was looking for the Twiggy stuff.
Yeah.
And I just found something here that says in 1934, Bruno Hauptmann was arrested in New York and charged with the kidnap murder of Charles A. Lindbergh Jr.
Yes.
I wasn't looking for that.
And Ty, aren't you? You're like my guardian angel when it comes to like Charles Lindbergh. You want to talk a little bit about that? Like, tell us a little bit about Charles Lindbergh, baby.
Charles Lindbergh's story is the famous aviator, of course. Okay, the famous aviator had a son, which of course is the Lindbergh baby. The Lindbergh baby, very famous story, where the Lindbergh baby was kidnapped. The Lindbergh baby was kidnapped, and it's part of American folklore. It's so part of American folklore to me that it's the same as Neil Armstrong on the moon. It's the same as Amelia Earhart's missing. It's the same thing. The Lindbergh baby story is the Lindbergh baby was never found. Now I know now because of the Mandela effect, and I can't say I can't call it anything else other than the history that I grew up with, the history that I understand, that the Lindbergh baby was never found is now quite different. The Lindbergh baby was apparently found. A week or two later, someone was charged and someone was executed for the crime. The Lindbergh baby, in my reality, from what I remember, for lack of a better term, you'll understand, was never found. No one was ever taken to court. No one was ever executed for the crime. Then the mother, Mrs. Lindbergh, Charles Lindbergh's wife, killed herself in absolute depression. She committed suicide. In this reality, Charles Lindbergh's wife, went on to have more children. So it's quite different.
Oh my goodness.
They're all
I've talked to other people who experience the Mandela effect, like you guys, that have newspaper clippings and residuals of quite the opposite of what I said, agreeing with you guys. I have no proof that Charles Lindbergh baby was never found, but I do have pop culture references on TV shows all over the place. Fringe, Family Guy, American Dad, to name a couple, and I have them on my homepage on Facebook. That's my cover photo for Facebook. Is the greatest crime in the crime of the century, Charles Lindbergh's baby's pictures right there. And if you click on it, you'll see American Dad, Fringe, and Family Guy clips from those shows, alluring to the fact that the Lindbergh baby was never found. Why in the world would those shows make references to a baby that was never found if the baby was found dead a week or two later? The Lindbergh baby in the show says that it was never found. That's the point. That's my residual proof.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Okay, you say American Dad had an episode on it.
You see my page? Are you on Facebook there, Brian?
I don't want to show it because I'm recording my screen.
Knock yourself out. It doesn't make any difference. There's nothing bad on my page. There's nothing bad. There's nothing unseemly on my page.
Okay, so let me see if there's an episode reference here. Okay, Lindbergh.
If you click on the crime of the century,
when the guy outside, Rogers. Okay, it's the Fortress of Solitude part. It says here, there's a joke about it. When the guy outside Rogers' Fortress of Solitude rolls under the door, and then he says the thing about if he found out he is the Lindbergh baby, who should he tell? Right? Is that it?
That's the American Dad reference, correct?
Okay. Trying to find an episode reference.
What the heck?
Yep. And then there's a Family Guy reference to where Charles Lindbergh is in the bathroom, and the baby is playing in the toilet, and he flushes the baby down the toilet. And he says, oh my gosh, what happened? And he says, I'll take care of everything.
Afternoon, sojourners. Strawberry cores? It's something I invented. I take a regular cores and I really like your roommate. Don't want to open the door. That's real. You know, Stan is insane. We joke a lot, me and you, but something's wrong.
Is it before he rolls under the garage? I'm just trying to make sure because I don't want to like get a copyright if I play too much. Is it before he rolls?
It's fine because you're not using it for profit. It's okay. You're using it for educational purposes.
Impressive solitude. Impressive. Afternoon, sojourners. Strawberry cores? It's something I invented. I take a regular cores and I drink it through a Twizzler, you see.
Oh, who didn't do that as a kid?
Nice touch with the rolling. Don't want to open the door too wide and let Disability Check Dan over there see your fortress of solitude. Oh, good Lord, it's real. You know, Stan, it's too bad. I actually liked Francine. The rest of them can suck it, but Francine, I'm sorry to see die. Roger, we joke a lot, me and you, but you know that deep in my heart, I've always loved... Too late, Stan. You've sailed your fate, and now... Something's wrong. What the... Why isn't this...
Dear humans who discover this wreck, please disregard it. We crashed this ship into your planet to test new safety features because we care about our customers. The alien inside is merely a crash test dummy who most likely died upon impact.
Crash test dummy?
Is it around this part?
Told me.
Yes, it is.
The Decider! That is classic! I am loving this!
No, this can't be. Excuse me, gentlemen. If I just found out I'm the Lindbergh baby, whom do I tell?
There you go.
There you go.
Do I tell?
You guys heard that, right?
If I just found out I'm the Lindbergh baby, whom do I tell?
Oh my gosh. Okay, and you said what else? There's a Friends episode.
Did you get that from? Did you get that from my page?
That's actually on YouTube. 1 minute and 25 seconds in, roughly, on American Dad: The Decider.
Okay. Did you get it from my page?
No, I did not.
Okay. Well, if you go to my page, I have 4 clips all about the Lindbergh baby. That's one of them that you just showed. The other clips are very quick. They're very quick. They're only about 10 seconds apiece. That's the longest of all the clips that you played.
All right, let me see if I can find it.
I got one from The Simpsons, one from American Dad, one from Family Guy, and one from Friends. And they all are the fact that the Lindbergh baby was never found.
All right, where's those references at?
You go to my page, click on the picture at the top that says the crime of the century. It will open up to the videos right there, right in the comments.
Okay, I see it. I see it.
Okay.
I see the American Dad one. Actually, I see you tagged me in it.
And you scroll up from there, and you see The Simpsons, Friends, and Family Guy.
Okay. I only see the American Dad one.
Scroll up.
Okay, view for more. Got it. Okay. There's the Family Guy one and Fringe. Okay, Fringe. Okay, I thought you said Friends. Okay, here's The Simpsons. Let's play that.
That's Grandpa Simpson, Abe.
All right, I admit it. I am the Lindbergh baby. Wah, wah, cuckoo. I miss my fly, da, da.
Are you trying to stall us, or are you just senile?
A little from column A, a little from column B. All right, I admit it. I am the Lindbergh baby. Wah.
Oh, gosh. Fringe. Okay, this is from Fringe.
Friends.
You know, when people find out that you're back, you're gonna be famous.
What do you mean?
Well, you're kidnapping. It's a famous story.
So I'm like the Lindbergh baby?
The what?
Wow.
Okay,
That's
go
a
to the other
fantastic
one.
find, Ty.
What's she like? That you're back. You're gonna be famous.
What do you mean?
Well, you're kidnapping. It's a famous story.
So I'm like the Lindbergh baby?
The what?
That's Friends, yeah. If you go to the Family Guy one, then you'll see another reference to it.
All right, let's see that one. Man, these are all great finds. I don't know how you find this stuff. So
You know what happened to the Lindbergh baby?
Charles, he's only 6 months old.
Honey, would you relax? God, I flew across the Atlantic by myself. I'm a national treasure, for God's sake. I think I know how to... Ah! Oh, God! Oh, God! All right. He was kidnapped. You call the police. I'll write the ransom note.
What about Amelia? She saw everything.
You leave her to me. Ah! Ah! Oh, God! Oh, God! By myself. I'm a national treasure, for God's sake. Honey, would you relax? God, I flew across the Atlantic by myself. I'm a national treasure, for God's sake. I think I know how to...
And Charles, just to be clear...
Oh, God! All right. He was kidnapped. You call the police. I'll write the ransom note.
What about Amelia? She's...
Nice, nice. I like that.
So
Great
the
find. That's
so
from
the
the Family
question
Guy.
So you see, the question is, if the Lindbergh baby was actually
Wow.
killed, found 2 weeks later, why in the world is Friends, American Dad, The Simpsons, and Family Guy making jokes about it? That's not funny in any way.
I know, and it says right here, you know what happened to the Lindbergh baby, and right on your page it says it was the crime of the century. And Jordan Summers writes here, in this reality the child was found, this is 6 months ago, and the murder was executed. Funny, because I remember it where the child was never found. So does the Family Guy.
Right.
So that's how it happened, right? Aha. Wow. Okay, so you're not the only one having this so-called mismemory. So you know, if any of you guys connect with Ty here, by all means help us thumb up this video here and get it out to the public. Yeah, Ty, anything else you got? Teresa, you got...
That's what I got.
All right. If you got... Ty, do you have like a Facebook, like... Are you part of some Facebook groups, I guess, related to the...
Well, sure. I'm in groups, of course.
Yes.
I mean, but yours is the main one. You plug your own.
All right. Well, and you guys all know my Facebook group, the hashtag Mandela Effect. It's actually Satan and changes in Scripture as well. We cover changes with Scripture. I've got a project going here. I have I pretty much covered 24 of the 26 books in the New Testament. I'm trying to get help with Old Testament. If you guys want to join in and help on that project. Ty, do you...
Right, how many books are in the New Testament?
There's... Well, it's 40... No, 26. There's 26 exactly, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, 26.
There's 27.
Yeah, I haven't done any work in the last couple weeks, and I've had to slow down a little bit.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I want to make sure as well. Should be 26.
39 in the old. 66 total. Unless you're Catholic, then there's 72.
27.
But that was very...
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. Yeah. Yeah, these Mandela effects.
Hopefully that residual of the Lindbergh baby was helpful to you.
I sure appreciate it, Ty. Thank you for your time. And do you do any, like, do you study? How often do you study movies? Like, what movies can you recommend to anyone to watch as far as for like picking up Mandelas? Anything from like what, the 80s, 90s? What do you recommend?
I have something that would be very helpful for someone to understand what would be going on would be Fringe, where there's another reality, where Peter is from another reality, and he remembers things from the other reality when he goes over, and he sees the differences. You see it over and over again in the other realities. It's a strange TV show, but it was very popular for a time, and that's when I found out about the Mandela effect. I said, "Oh my gosh, I've become Peter." Like I'm from another reality because nothing fits. Like, you know, living with the knowledge of the Lindbergh baby when history says something different, and 1,000 other things which you guys are well aware of.
Let's talk about this other thing here. Thanks, Ty. Hey, let me ask you, because I believe it was Salted Cedar who was telling me about. There's this thing called Falling Skies. Have you ever seen that on Netflix?
What's it called?
There's episodes called Falling Skies. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I have heard of it. Haven't watched it, but I have heard of it.
Salted Cedar told me about that. When I get some free time, I'm actually going to start watching some of those. I haven't watched honestly any TV in quite some time. I watch occasional episodes here and there, but I am going to start watching that one, I think.
Okay.
You ever watch that one? What is it? Something about Black Mirrors, or what's that one on Netflix?
I think it's called Black Mirror.
Is it Black Mirror?
But I mean, there's quite a bit of things that I do watch, but you know, it's not that I'm a big TV watcher. It's just, you know, over time, we binge watch is what happens. We watch the whole season, you know, and the whole series one after another. That's what happens. Yeah.
Black Mirror. Yeah. Yeah, it says right here, in this world it's easy to lose. Huh? Go ahead. Sorry.
Is there any one specifically that would be good for people that are going through the Mandela effect?
Well, the thing is with
that are affected, I should say.
I can look that up real quick as far as Black Mirror. It's basically like a modern day Twilight Zone reworking. That's what Black Mirror is. I remember there was an episode where I guess a woman has a guy who's like a complete android.
Yeah.
Kind of like Her, but actually, you ever seen the movie Her?
Yes.
I thought that was kind of interesting. This guy falls in love with a computer. Black Mirror. Effect. I'm trying to see how Black Mirror relates to the Mandela effect. Oh crap. Teresa, you there?
Yeah.
I lost Ty. Let me see if I can get him back. Okay.
What happened?
It's okay. I wanted to talk to you about Vapor Rub. Hold on. Be right back. I know we're covering a wide variety of things right now. It's not very rare I get to speak with Ty. Hold on, guys. He was actually with us. I don't know how far back in my videos you guys go, but he was actually in our first phone conference, and we were talking a little bit about the Lindbergh baby.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box.
Hey, Teresa?
I'm here.
I think his phone may have died. I'm not sure, but I'm sure he'll get back with us in a
back
minute.
on?
I tried. I'm reaching his voicemail at the moment.
Oh, shoot.
He'll probably call us back in a sec.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if there's... It's just funny how the show is called Black Mirror, and a lot of people have talked about this. Well, especially, namely, One Harmony had mentioned this on my show, where and I believe he was making a reference to some black mirrors related to LCD screens. And
oh, wow.
yeah, black mirrors represent some kind of magic, like mirror, mirror on the wall type stuff, or magic mirror on the wall as it is in this reality. Sort of like conjuring up some sort of magic here. Switching screens here a minute. I wanted to talk to you about this vapor rub residue you found while we're waiting for Ty to get back with us. You found some beautiful residue here.
Yeah,
on Vicks.
That just blew me away because I mean, look at the way it's spelled and everything. That's what I remember.
Right, but
and I was shocked when I found it.
I mean, oh my gosh! I mean, it says this one. So you have two of them here. One says Vic, V-I-C-K, Vapor with a U, and then rub, yeah. Right? Vapor rub. That's probably, it could be the European version, but it is the vintage version. You said, right?
Yes, I found it vintage with other vintage, very old things from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, and I was just reminiscing, and I seen it, and I went, oh my God, and I remembered. That's how I remember seeing it, not the way it is now. Not the Vicks Vapor, P-O-R. None of that made sense to me, and every time I see it,
yeah,
it didn't look right to me. And then once I seen this one, it's like all my memories were flowing back. I mean, that's what we need in the Mandela world, is to get our old memories back so that we can remember things more clearly. And this one just really opened up my mind, and it was like I'm remembering one thing now, and I'm remembering another thing, and a lot of my memories are coming back and like flowing, like literally. Things that I forgot, I'm remembering now.
I know. Like I'm clearly remembering Rubix, R-U-B-I-X. You know, it's not like...
Yeah, I have some of that. Do you want some?
No, it's okay. We got plenty of that. But Vicks,
you can show it if you want. I have plenty of it.
All right, if you want to share a couple of them, that's fine while I'm sharing the Vicks stuff.
Yeah, let's look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, let me send it to you. Hold on.
Yeah, this Vicks is V-I-C-K-S Vapo Rub. Not it's supposed to have a R, like, and then rub, but it's just Vapo Rub.
But look at the one the vintage one I found.
You sent me this one here. It says I use Vicks Vapor Rub on my hair growth hack. And right here, clearly, this girl on the bottle, it says Vapo Rub. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's strange.
It was Vapor, and the reason why they called it Vapor is because that's the way it was back then.
Okay, and on Twizzlers, we're seeing some connected letters here. Right? Is that what you're showing me here? Connected letters on Twizzlers. It's like all the letters are actually joined on Twizzlers.
See that?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, and we were talking about that earlier. It was actually in that American Dad episode. Who remembers biting off the...
Evel Knievel, too.
Who remembers...
You want to share some Evel Knievel?
Yeah, that's fine. Who remembers biting off the ends of Twizzlers and then using it as a straw to slurp up some Sprite? Who remembers that?
I did that. Here's some Rubik's Cube.
All right. Are you
R-U-B-I-X.
Okay.
And here's a Rubik's Cube party. It even says Rubik's Cube, the 80s and the 90s experience tickets. They were having like a party reminiscing of the 80s and the 90s, and they even called it Rubik's Cube with the X on purpose.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, because I want to sort of bring this to a close. I'm going to try to call back Ty real quick, all right?
I sent those to you if you look. You just got them.
Okay, thanks, Teresa. I'm waiting for it to come in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Rubik's Cube Bank, vintage Rubik's Cube. Yeah, I remember in Big Bang Theory, wasn't his like Sheldon Cooper, you know, on the corner where he sat, his special seat on the couch? Well, if you look beside him on the lamp stand right there, or on the coffee table, there is a Rubik's Cube. It's like a place for Kleenexes, you know, for Kleenexes. You remember that?
That's right.
Okay, so you sent another Rubik's Cube. Yeah, more Rubik's with an X. Yeah, this is crazy. Mini Rubik's Cube.
I remember the X. I don't remember no K. I've always remember the X.
Yeah.
I don't know what your listeners remember.
Rubik's Cube.
What do you remember the X?
That's a big one for a lot of people. And
I know.
I'm
well,
trying
look,
to.
why would they have a part? Why would they be sitting on an invitation, the X, for the party that was to do with the theme of the 80s and the 90s? Why else would they be spelling it with the X, right?
Right.
Yeah, because that was the theme, the 80s and the 90s.
Right. It was. I remember Rubik's Cube. It came out in 1980.
Yep. And that's why this theme is for the 80s and the 90s.
Yes, and I know the argument can be made for Erno Rubik is the guy who came up with it.
Yeah, I know.
But it was a Rubik's.
But his name could be Mandela too.
What's that?
His name could be in a Mandela too.
It very well could
be. Yeah, the name changed with him.
It very well could be. And here's the thing too. I know a lot of people are saying, you know, I possibly might be a Mandela. I don't know if I am or not. My name has always been MAC.
Yes, we need to emphasize that, everybody. Mac Farland.
Yeah, it's MAC. Yeah, not Mick
is
in
McDonald's.
All right.
And just in case mine changes, I'm THERESA.
Yes. Yes.
And it's Lynch, not lunch. Lynch.
I suggest everybody practice. It's a skill. Practice on your Caligulus. In your brain. Look at something for a few seconds and then look away. Look at something for a few more seconds and then look away, and then try to draw what you saw. I would try that. You know, stimulate your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Or do that with your hearing. Definitely work on your memory because they're going to try to take more and more of it away.
They are trying to.
Yeah, and exactly. We are just picking up the pieces right now. We know something. There's been a crime scene. And we are just picking up pieces. That's all we're trying to figure out.
Oh my God! I just found a band that's called Rubik's Cube, and it looks just like a Rubik's Cube.
And is it
oh
spelled?
My God!
Hang on. Oh wow! Is it, okay, send it to me. I'll share that. And
I'm doing that right now. They're actually calling themselves Rubik's Cube.
All right. I'm gonna try to get Ty on the line if I can't reach him. Thank you, Ty, for sharing that beautiful. He shared some nice residue with Lindbergh, baby. And by the way, Lindbergh, in case yes, in case
Check this out.
Yep. In case Lindbergh changes.
There's your X. Look.
Yep. There it is. Rubik's Cube. Yep. Spell with an X.
What does that look like?
Yep. Now, in case Rubik's changes, okay? If Rubik's, Lindbergh. I got sidetracked. Lindbergh, if it changes, okay, it's spelled in this reality Lindbergh. Not make sure you attach an H with it, okay? Because if it's a spelling test, you'll fail.
You see that?
Yep, I see that. That's the band's name.
That's the band's name, and look at the symbol that they have for themselves. It's a Rubik.
I see that. I wonder, and see, why would they put an X?
Bingo.
If it wasn't that way. Anyway, guys, thanks. I'm going to close this video. Thanks, guys, for checking me out. Have a great Mandela Effect night. And thank you, Teresa.
Good night. Good night.
As always, thank you.
I just found more Rubik's Cube.
We're going to blow them away with this stuff. All right, good night, guys.
I just found more.